Here's a context picture to help you understand the demo. This demo is actually building on another POC that we did for the alternate deal structure project. In that project, we had a simulated Route 1 system that was written by Vu Pham, who's on the line. And what it does is it takes, a year's worth of credit applications and can effectively replay them. We've taken a year's worth of data, we've obfuscated it, and we can send it through the system. We can send it to the SaaS-based LOS system, loan origination system, which is called DeFi. It's on the web, it's on the internet, and we've configured it. Matt Colby, who's on the line, has done a lot of the configuration. We're hitting credit bureaus for real. It's a test interface. And then we've simulated callbacks for pricing, and then we're hitting our SMG3 environment for decisioning. Part of the alternate deal structure project is to extend the decisioning environment to include another component that's a software provided by FICO and configured by TFS to enhance the decisioning process to include alternate deal structures. So we're going to quickly go through steps 1, 2, and 3, and then 4, 5, and 6 is related to this new POC where we're actually hooking up this SaaS-based LOS with the Alfa servicing system. So the first thing we're going to do, just to verify before we start our demo, is to go into the Alfa system and show that the credit application and subsequent contract package aren't showing up in there right now. So Vu, if you can flip over to the Alfa system and show us the search for an SSN on a customer that we're about to submit. So this is the Alfa environment. There's an SSN. He's already clicked search. You can see that the account is not there. So let's just go back to the other Visio picture for a minute. So in order to have it make sense, we're going to step through just the first part of the POC that we did with the alternate deal structure. What's going to happen is Vu's going to go submit one of the credit applications that we have from historical data, and we're going to see the results of the decision. Now, what will happen at that point in the real world is that the dealer and the customer would work through that application and eventually submit a contract package. In our simulated environment, there are no people, so it automatically, once the decision is made, this AOI, which stands for Applications Originations Interface, will automatically submit the contract package. So once he clicks this button, you're going to see him click the button. All these steps, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, all happen automatically. Where there would be a pause in the real world is when the customer and the dealer are working out the contract package. And of course, there may be some exceptional process at any one of these steps that will kick it out into a manual process. But ideally, in the real world, these things would be all automated like they are here. So go ahead, Vu, let's go into AOI and let's select one of the credit applications and submit it for decisioning. So you can see here, this is the custom built solution that we built just for the POC purposes. And Vu did it so fast. Okay, look, application was submitted successfully. So now what we can do is go into the DeFi environment to look at what happened, remembering that by now the contract package has already gone through the DeFi system as well, but we're going to look at it just from the steps 1, 2, 3 from the decisioning perspective. So Matt Colby, who's primarily responsible for configuring this system, is going to talk to us a little bit about what's in there just so as the audience you can understand. So there's the credit application. You can recognize the name and the current app status. So go ahead, Matt.
Okay. You see that Candia Sparker was submitted to the LOS. The app status right now is auto-approved, which means it's queuing up the decision back to the AOI and getting ready for the next phase. If you actually get into the application itself, we'll go to the decision page, kind of walk through what the LOS has done with the receipt of the application. Okay, so it's lagging a little bit. Okay, now we're within the decision page. You receive a series of requested attributes in the deal structure, which runs through a series of rules and formulas to decide if the request meets the program guidelines. And then if it passes all of those things, it takes that set, passes it to SMG3, which is the decision engine. It assigns a grade and validates those rules and sends it back to the LOS, where it will decision the application. In this case, it was auto-approved, approved. It did make a slight adjustment. It was requested at 132%, line 3. The maximum for this program was 130, so it did make the adjustment in cash down and approved it and sent it back to the dealer. You'll notice on the right that it also has a ADS option 1, 2, 3, and 4, which was part of the POC for the project as well. But we won't get into that piece of it, just that it was auto-approved and sent back to the dealer at this point.
Okay, so what we've done there is we've submitted the credit application. It got the credit bureau information, pricing, decisioning, and then it returned back, sorry for the upside down 3 here, when it goes back into the AOI system. And then it submits the contract package. So I think we'll go quickly into AOI, Vu, just to show some of the data associated with this. So when we drill into there, we can see some of the different components of the contract here, where you have the applicant information, account information, the finances, and the vehicle information. And here's where it shows you the agreement number, which is getting passed through the system now too. So now we're going to go into the step 4, 5, and 6, where we're going to look at the contract package. So now let's go back into DeFi for a second.
Okay, so we're going to go to the verifications page. This is the page that receives the contract data from the AOI, simulating the Route 1 interface. Once that contract package data comes in, you need to go to the verification. There we go. Okay. Now, if you scroll down a little bit, it will take all the contract information and compare it side by side with the decision information, making sure that the customer and dealer have agreed to the terms that it was approved upon. It runs a series of validations and checks on the data, and it also does calculations and compliance checks to make sure that our Reg Z box is accurate with the finance charged, finance amount, total of payments, and all the things that were disclosed with the customer during the contract signing. Once all those validations are passed, the system moves to a ready to book mode and prepares a boarding file that it sends out from the LOS to Alpha for boarding the customer onto the servicing system. That has been complete, because I noticed it is in an RB status on this application. So that file has already been transferred to Alpha.
Okay, great. So I think the last part of our demo here is just going to be going into Alpha. But so the credit analyst would be looking at the first portion, the decisioning page, and other sections of the DeFi system. The contract analyst might be looking at these verification screens. And as Matt just said, this contract package has gone off for booking into the servicing system, which is the Alpha development environment that we're using here. So we're just going to go in there really quickly and look at the fact that this contract is now in that system.
So here we see that if we search again, the information for this individual showed up. Okay, so now I'm going to switch to the AOI and take the agreement number, and we will search for that agreement number.
Because obviously what we're showing here is the Alpha has a customer entity and a contract entity. So we saw that the customer appeared there, and now we're looking at that the financial information is there as well. Brings a conclusion to our demo here.